So one topic that we have missed out in Weber, that is authority. So actually chapter 4, that means thinkers, and C means Weber. Okay, so we missed out this, so I will just go through this. This is a very simple one. Yeah, bureaucracy we have already covered in chapter of politics. So here we will discuss about authority, and if required we will go through bureaucracy also. So here when we discuss about authority, we have already discussed about power, right? In fact, authority also we have seen the definition. So first what you need to see is, this is one introductory line that you can write. It is actually, conception of authority is actually a demonstration of his concept of ideal type in action. So authorities are actually based on ideal type only. So if you get a question on ideal type, you can also write about authority. So here Weber is talking about 3 different types of authority. Those 3 different types of authority is nothing but the ideal type. The pure form may or may not exist. Okay, so these are again the ideal types. So if the question is asked about ideal type, you can talk about authority. You can also talk about Protestant ethic and spirit of capitalism. You can talk about social action. So here this is an application of his theory of social action, at the same time ideal type also. Okay, so here power. First you will define power. One line. Power is defined by Weber as the chance of a man or a number of men to realize their own will in a communal action. So if I am powerful in this class, means I am able to exercise my own will over and above all of the other people who are present in this particular action, right? So that is how you will actually interpret power, and this we have already discussed in the chapter of power. So anyway, you need to have this definition in the chapter of power also. When we discussed about constant sum game, you need to write exactly the same definition. So even against the resistance of those who are participating in the communal action. So it's a chance of man. Now this is something which can be added, or number of man. That means it is a group. Okay, so it's a chance that you can experience or you can realize your own will against the will of the others. So that is power. When it comes to authority, just extend power in such a way that authority is a legitimate power. Okay, the power can be used in different way. So authority means it is a use of legitimate power. So authority, according to Weber, is a form of legitimate power. That is power which is considered legitimate in society. So power means you can exercise your will even against others. That is power. If it is legitimate, that is authority. Okay, one of the typical version of authority is bureaucracy, because bureaucracy is evolving power or getting the power from legitimate source, right? Legal source. So police is an example of authority. Why? Police is having power, but it is a legitimate power. Okay, police can exercise their will over and above others, but it is legitimate. By law they are doing it, right? So it is a legitimate power, so it is an authority. So that is how you make a differentiation between power and authority. So power, if a person can exercise his own will against all others in a communal action, that is power. Legitimate power is authority. Okay, so Weber identified 3 sources of legitimacy. So legitimacy can be derived 3 ways: tradition, rationality, or charisma. Like tradition means you derive power from tradition, like monarch, etc. These are power which is derived or got from the tradition. Rationality means legal rational authority. So this is traditional authority. Legal rational authority, through law, legality, you derive power. Charisma, from your personal qualities you make power, like Hitler. Mahatma Gandhi also, some power he experienced or exercised, that is because of his own personal quality, charisma. Okay, some people may get all this also, right? When we talk about Jawaharlal Nehru or Roosevelt, they actually have their charisma. Obviously Jawaharlal Nehru personal qualities are there. At the same time, that is rational power also, legal rational authority, because they are elected, right? So it is actually combination of these two. And in fact, when he is elected for the second time, there is an element of tradition also, right? So you can see the combinations. That's what you mean by ideal types. These are ideal types. Pure form may or may not find, or the actual action or the actual power may be the combination. So just understand, when you get a question on authority, talk about what is power. What is legitimate power? That is authority. Top 3 type of authority: tradition, legality, charisma. In this basis you can name traditional authority. Okay, so first one, traditional authority, then charismatic authority, and rational legal authority. So that you can anyway go through okay. Now traditional authority means what? Traditional authority, this is similar to a traditional social action. Okay, for example, when we talk about authority exercised by hereditary monarch, a feudal lord, caste Brahmins. So from where they are getting that authority? They are getting that authority from beliefs, customs, values, etc. What is traditional action? The actions which are taken, performed on the basis of some traditional beliefs, right, practices, etc. that we have discussed, right? Standing when you see a teacher, okay, when you touch the feet of elders for paying respect, all these are traditional action. Similarly here also, this is coming, the power is coming out of some beliefs, customs, values. So monarch, okay, or caste Brahmins, etc. are typical example of this one. Now you can read about this, you will not face any problem, but this is the main part that we need to have. Directly there in Harlem Bose also you can go through that. Charismatic authority. Charismatic authority means it's all about personal quality. If you have personal quality, you can experience some kind of power because you can influence the masses. Mahatma Gandhi, okay, for example, authority exercised by Mahatma Gandhi over masses. Even Hitler also you can write here, okay, that is also charismatic authority, okay. Now here, to Weber, charisma was a revolutionary force. The rise of charismatic leader may well pose a threat to that system and lead to a dramatic change in that system. So that is a negative aspect. So charisma can be a revolutionary force also. So it can, pose a threat to the system. For example, when we talk about Mahatma Gandhi, it posed the threat to the system. Which system? The British system, which was established. Okay. So this type of authority is also not as effective as legal rational authority. It is not that effective as legal rational authority because this is completely based on that particular person's charisma. Okay, as organization is not done on rational criteria and members are not technically trained. It's all depends on that particular leader. So it is not that effective as legal rational authority. So what you see more in modern societies, it is legal rational authority, which is based on Zweck rational action. Means and goals are specified. Okay. So rational legal authority, it is based on Zweck rational action. Typical example is bureaucracy. The hierarchy will be there, trained officials will be there. So all these are actually legal rational authority. Purest type of exercise of authority is bureaucracy. Actual authority, now here, this is the exact concept of ideal type. Actual authority may be combination of above ideal types of authority. Okay, for example, when we talk about Roosevelt as a president of United States, or Nehru, just before I've told as Indian Prime Minister, okay, so by the time they elected 3 times, a good part of the rules had traditional element, right? So some traditional element is there, but they have elected. Since they have elected, it is based on rational legal principles, right? But there is a traditional element because second time, third time they are getting elected, right? And then at the same time they also have some significant amount of charisma, right? Many disciples and followers regarded them as charismatic leaders. So you can see this as combination. Okay, further, particular type of authority may change over time and transform into another type. So this concept is routinization of charisma and traditionalization of rationality. So this rationality may get traditionalized, so change may happen. So one particular authority may change over time. For example, rational legal system is there, it may be shifted to authoritarian system. Okay, it may be shifted to based on charismatic authority. So that can come. So routinization of charisma or traditionalization of rationality. So different names it is known as. Criticisms, these are simple criticism. Weber conception of authority is primarily criticized on, see here what we are discussing is, he's talking about 4 social actions, right? Affective social action, traditional social action, Zweck rational and word rational. But he is only giving 3 types of authority. It should have been 4 type, right? But he is only giving 3 types. So secondly, you can see here, Power is highly dispersed in society and operates at all levels in different institutions. So different situations. So you can just read the criticism. It is not a big deal. So if the question is asked on authority, what all things you need to write? First, you need to say, if it is specific to Weber, you need to talk about ideal type. You need to say Weber's theory on authority as a demonstration of the use of ideal types in practice in sociology. So you brought in ideal types over there, and you should say that he is demonstrating, oh yeah, that we have already discussed. And then you talk about power. Power is the ability of an individual to exercise his own will over others in a communal action. Then you talk about what is authority from power. It is the legitimate power is actually the authority. Okay, and then you discuss authority is derived from three sources: tradition and rational, and also what was that, charisma. So this is traditional authority, rational legal authority, charismatic authority. You can give examples like Brahmins. So here caste Brahmins is an example. Secondly, we have talked about monarch. All these are examples. You can write that. Rational legal authority, typical example is bureaucracy. You can talk about all this police system, judicial system, everything. Charisma, you can talk about Mahatma Gandhi and all, even Hitler also you can write. All charismatic leaders you can write here. So these are the three ideal types. Okay, and then you can write about the criticisms. So that's about his theory of ideal type. And bureaucracy, I think we have already discussed before, but quickly if you want we can go through that also. Bureaucracy, Weber links it to the rising rationalization of society. Society is getting rationalized, right? Just before also we have discussed rational element. So bureaucracy is also a kind of authority. So this is a subtopic from authority only. So we are taking that rational authority, that is what bureaucracy. So bureaucracy means increasing bureaucracy, you can understand what? Increasing rationalization of society, increasing modernization of society. So society is getting more and more complex. When the society is getting more and more complex, the functions has to be fulfilled by division of labor. So the clear-cut division of labor in society is what you can see from bureaucracy. So the roles are specified in terms of rules, regulation, fixed conditions, by paying the fixed salaries, everything is fixed. Even capitalism also it is there. Okay, even the private sphere also it has to be there. Because if you need to do the work done, if you need to do the work properly, rationally, efficiently, productively, you need to go for bureaucracy. So bureaucracy is actually a necessity in the modern society when the work is getting complex. Okay, so according to Weber, bureaucracy is a type of organization which suits more in the modern society where work is done rationally. It is nothing but a hierarchical organization designed rationally to coordinate the work of many individuals in the pursuit of large-scale administrative tasks and organizational goals, right? See, starting from, if you talk about the police system, how is it arranged? Starting from the constabulary, then you can see sub-inspector, then you can see the DSP to the SP, then higher level DIG, IG, it will go like that, right? So it is again a division of labor only. It is basically a division of labor. Capitalism, which is the basis of, okay, so that you can read, according to him, from a purely technical point of view, bureaucracy is capable of attaining, this is the most important point, highest degree of efficiency. Okay, so that is the reason why bureaucracy is actually preferred in the modern system. And in this sense, formally, the most rational means of exercising authority is actually bureaucracy. Among the human being, the most rational means of exercising authority is bureaucracy. So the purest form of legal authority is what? Bureaucracy. Okay, so the purest form of rational legal authority. So in case if you need to write an example for rational legal authority, what is the best one? You need to write about bureaucracy. Okay, it is finally superior both in intensive efficiency and in the scope of its operation, and is formally capable of application of all kind of administrative tasks. So you can see here a few characteristics. Okay, so bureaucrats and bureaucracy is different. Okay, so he is talking about bureaucracy. Bureaucracy means it's a structure. Bureaucrats, okay, these are positions. Like when we talk about IAS officers, when we talk about IPS officers, when we talk about collector and SP, these are different positions. These are bureaucrats. Okay, bureaucracy means it's a structure. Like capitalism is an ideology. Capitalist is a, that honor, right? Like that. So typical elements of bureaucracy, there will be written legal rational rules, hierarchy of officials in authority. So it is like you have to obey the superior and he have to obey that superior, like that it will go. So that hierarchy is necessary here, because then the work gets done faster. So the chain of command should be there. And work is specialized in bureaucracy and staffs are trained, permanent and paid, okay, expected to work honestly, and then administrative acts, decisions and rules are formulated and recorded in writing. Everything has to be formal. It is a purest rational legal authority. It is a purest formal setup. All these you can write. So when we discuss about formal organization of work, there also we have discussed about bureaucracy. So, and you are aspiring to become a bureaucrat, okay? So criticism, you can just go through this. Now Weber also talking about one criticism, that Iron Cage of Rationality. What is that? The bureaucracy means you strictly start following the rules. Okay, so what is the skepticism in Weber's understanding? It is all about bureaucracy may lead to alienation of human being, because you excessively start following the rules. You come at the office at 9 o'clock and you go at 5 o'clock, you follow the rule. So it's like you strictly follow that rationality. Like you work like a machine. You are put in an iron cage, right? It's just like that. So this lead to alienation of human being according to Weber. So his major fear was that rationalization that dominates all aspect of bureaucratic life was a threat to individual liberty and identity also. Okay, unlike Marx, he did not see future in terms of dictatorship of proletariat, but in terms of dictatorship of officials. So this is also a key point that you need to write. The bureaucracy will take all the control, not the proletariat. So the officials will take the control. It is not the politicians or ministers who is going to take the control also in future. If you see, even now also, who is more powerful in society? It is the bureaucrats. It's mainly the bureaucrats. IAS, IPS officers are the most powerful people in the society. Now this bureaucracy, this is I have taken directly from what we have discussed before. It is also added in that chapter, work and the politics and society, exactly the same thing that we already had the discussion on this PDF. So I have just compiled it here so that you can read both together. That is the reason why I have compiled it together, exactly the same one. So any doubt here with respect to these two topics, bureaucracy and authority?